Want to find out the secrets to assembling the best LEGO collection? Hey, how you doing? My name is Ryan, and today I'm at Bricks Minifigs Cockeysville for an exclusive tour just hours before opening day to talk to the pros about how to curate and display the best possible collection. Let's get to it. So I'm here with Aaron, one of the pros at Bricks Minifigs. Thank you so much for showing me around the store. This does not look like a store at all. It feels more like a museum of different sections that you can just happen to add things to your cart and go check out. What's the process of deciding what goes where in this massive collection?
Sure. So we have a lot of great large containers, just like this one right behind us. This one features a lot of our great castle sets, and we take those and like, okay, they're already built. Why take the time to disassemble them? They look amazing. Let's put them up on display, and you can really see we can display them because you only get so much from the pictures on the box. Seeing the set fully displayed in person to full scale, it looks amazing.
Once you have a used set, how do you decide what display method for which set?
Right, so a lot of the ones we have on our other sales shelves, some of those are not fully complete, as in mainly missing minifigures or like a few pieces here and there. The ones that we put on display, we just see them as something more special, something that deserves to be put up on a pedestal. How the LEGO fans themselves feel about the sets, how we ourselves feel about them.
And I have to imagine size as well. I mean, I look up above this case, there's the Titanic there, barely fits on the edges of that frame, so that wouldn't probably even fit in a case unless it's a huge case.
Precisely. Later on, you'll see some of our minifigure cases. We debated putting it in one of those, but we didn't really want to dedicate all that space to it just because of, I mean, look how massive that is. I think it weighs near 30 pounds as well. Huge, ginormous set. You gotta put it up somewhere like that, I feel.
Now, Aaron, this looks much more like a typical LEGO store with all these boxes. However, boxes have kind of been a weird niche within the LEGO collector community. Where do you stand on box quality? Do you keep your boxes? Do you flatten them?
Me personally, I grew up, my parents always had me keep my boxes. So in my parents' basement, we have a bunch of big trash bags. Now the boxes are flattened, like you mentioned. So, you know, if I'm trying to resell it fully, that would definitely affect it. Keep the manuals too, instruction manuals. That goes in par with your box quality.
It's odd because LEGO themselves, the pieces can last for decades. You had parts from the 1940s that still look good,
right.
Old bricks. Whereas the box, arguably the hallmark of what a new set should be, wears down the fastest because it's cardboard. It's gonna fox, gonna water damage, edge fray. Let's see what you think is quote unquote acceptable damage for a LEGO box.
Sure, we got a great example right back here. This is one of the older LEGO Racer sets.
Okay.
LEGO Night Racer. And you know, the box, it's got a bit of crumbling. There's a bit of wear around here on the corners, some creases. Box is bone out, you know, not super sharp, flat edges. But there's no like horrible paint that's been torn off.
No, the graphics themselves,
there's no rip in
the
there.
printing looks great. I'd seen worse boxes at Target.
I don't think we have any others that are too Vita.
No, like even a more,
Yeah, we can take a look at this.
little bit of an indentation there, but you wouldn't look past this and say, that's a damaged box.
And you know, a lot of that can just come from shipping from the manufacturer, or you know, you get the bag, you hop in your car, toss it in the back, drive home, bumps around a bit. Life happens.
Now, Aaron, this case behind us, I think is the key separator between a Bricks and Minifigs store and a LEGO store. Tell me about this.
You're very right in that. This is some of our most valuable prized possessions in terms of collectible LEGO set. But we got some phenomenal older sets with some phenomenal conditional boxes. And this is really where, if you're a collector, you'd want to come in, and this is like, these are pieces of LEGO history we're looking at. There's a lot of sentimental value in these sets for a lot of people. And like I just said, the history behind them really draws collectors to them.
It's a little bit odd that the LEGO stores themselves don't often celebrate the history of LEGO within them. You guys actually value a set personally and value it as a collector. Right behind me, there's a Star Wars set that, if you were my generation growing up, you saw these in magazines, but now they are pristine prime collectibles for Star Wars fans. And
for someone like myself, I love them just as much. I remember being a kid looking through the LEGO Star Wars Visual Dictionary, seeing them inside and being like, that is just the coolest thing, I want them. But they'd stopped producing them by that time. They're a nice item to have. I'm happy to have them here for sure.
So Aaron, what would you say is your LEGO like niche?
My LEGO niche, right here, LEGO Star Wars. Huge fan of it growing up. This set in particular came out in 2008. So LEGO Star Wars through and through.
Now, you mentioned you actually worked at a LEGO store before.
That's true. So I worked at the flagship LEGO store in New York City on 5th Avenue. And there we were very much working directly for LEGO, and that was strictly sales of the LEGO product. Here, we're not just store employees, we're all just LEGO fans who just happen to be the ones selling you LEGO. You know, we've been working here in the store for about over a month, and we all came in as total strangers, and it just feels like this is my Lego family now, you know?
Let's talk minifigures. So how do you go about valuing a minifigure?
Surely, when you're pricing a minifigure individually, there are a lot of things to take in account. First of all, what set were you able to get the minifigure from? Was it a $10 set? Was it a $100 set? If it was a $10 set, way more people would have likely bought that set just due to its more affordable price point. So there's going to be more of that minifigure on the market versus a set at a higher price point where that minifigure only comes in that expensive set. Less people are going to buy that. Therefore, there are less of them to go on the secondhand market. So that will make it more expensive. Another thing is, does the minifigure have all the pieces? Like on a lot of times, you can see a minifigure where maybe it's missing an accessory, like a sword or like a beard piece or a hat or hair, anything like that that will take away from this minifigure's value.
Now, there's also mistakes.
I make a few mistakes. Would you like to see some?
I would love to see some mistakes.
This is Ladley. So not every minifigure on this plate we have right here is a mistake. Some of them are just more valuable ones, but we have a few that are. Smooth hair layers, and this is a misprint. Usually her hair would have texture on it. It would look kind of like coiled or braided, whatever you'd want to call it. That really jacks up the price because Lego wasn't even supposed to release this. And so when you have something that Lego makes that they weren't supposed to make, collectors are gonna go crazy for it just because there's such a smaller amount of them to collect. And like we have this from Star Wars Rebels, this black-haired Kanan, which I find really interesting. Not only is the hair black, but somehow his facial hair is printed also in black. Neither is supposed to be that. He's supposed to have dark brown, and they love that stuff just because of how rare it is. Mistakes like that come along every once in a while. So any sort of little defect like that in minifigures typically will make it more expensive. Pretty much a majority of everything we have that it's used sets that are built, that all came from the community. I mean, we'd have so many people come in with boxes and boxes of used built sets. And also a lot of the bulk that we have in our bulk bins and bulk tables, those also came from the community. We had plenty of fake Lego come through, other brands, knockoff Lego, imitation Lego.
How do you spot a fake? Because, well, yes, some of you are very easy to spot. Lego does not make Freddy Krueger, for example, or South Park characters. But when they're coming up with these figures that look identical to current Lego figures, how do you spot a fake? How do you decide what's real, what's not?
For me, as somebody who has been looking at these plastic bricks my entire life, I have a pretty good sense just based on the glossiness and sheen of the bricks. Now, with these, can we talk about these minifigures right in front of us?
Let's say these guys, for example, are these real? And if so, what makes them real? And if they're fake, what makes them fake?
I would say this Leia 100% is fake. I'm looking at it. The plastic on the arms just doesn't, like I just said, it doesn't have that right shine to it. The print does look really great. Like if we're looking at the belt, we can see it has that reflective metallic sheen to it.
The iridescence is correct.
Which looks amazing. So with something like this, when you're going, okay, on a picture online, picture somebody sends you or you see on a website, that looks real. That looks pretty convincing. But holding it in person, I'm moving the arms. That doesn't feel like a Lego tolerance. As I'm moving the arm, it's starting to come out of the socket a little bit. Do you see that?
Oh, yeah.
That's not a normal Lego tolerance. Let's look at the legs. These legs, very, very stiff. Sure, Legos can do that from age, but the hair isn't coming off. And when you look on the inside of a lot of Lego elements, that looks wrong. And if I were able, I don't think I can.
It's the head that won't even come off the hair.
If I could get the hair off, we should be able to see on the inside of that head a little Lego stamp. Lego puts stamps on all of their pieces. You'll be able to see them inside the legs, I believe, on the back, in between these holes, and none of that is present here.
All right, so let me try with the loot, because this can be pretty valuable. If this is real, this would go for maybe 20, 30 bucks, I don't know, right? So, let's see. The plastic's pretty shiny. The arms are pretty shiny too. The tolerance on the arm feels pretty good. Okay. The printing's nice. Iridescence on the belt. Let's see how the head is. The hair comes off rather nice. Let's try the head. That head.
Ooh, that's not right.
That head feels really stiff. And let's look at the stump. No logo on the stump.
Look at the top of the head too. Do you see that little nub of plastic that's just jutting out?
The little greebling on it, yep.
And that looks like something they just purely forgot to cut off in manufacturing.
Each of the legs. Yeah, the legs looks like it's pretty close, but there's no Lego logo on the hip piece as well. when you have a reference figure or you have it in your hand, you can feel a lot more than if you're just looking at a photo online.
And that's the value of a store such as our own. We have this expertise, most of us lifelong knowledge, having played with these bricks, seen these figures. We know what we're talking about and we care what we're talking about. We're not just gonna let a fake come through and sell it to you. You know, we're gonna throw that right in the big old garbage can.
Now, Aaron, we harped upon fakes versus real, authentic Lego. There still is room in this store, though, for creativity outside of Lego's actual instructions. So tell me a little bit about the customs you have here.
Of course, looking right up behind us on this wall, this is an alternative build for the Lego World map set. We spent about 4 hours watching South Park on the TV and putting this together. And that's just one of the parts about creativity. You know, there's pictures of it floating out online, but there's no instructions for it. So we had to freehand eyeball that.
And you would never see that in a Lego store.
No, it would never.
You also wouldn't see many customs in a Lego store. Custom figures, for example.
Nope. We have a lot of great custom figures too, ones that we're able to sell here at Bricks Minifigs. And these are things, customs aren't fakes. They're not imitating Lego. They're making things that Lego doesn't make or won't make.
And I also saw around the store, if you're a collector of figures, you have cases too, which is incredible because I've been trying to find the right case for my figures for years, only recently finding a couple brands that I really trust. And you would never find that at a Lego store.
No, you would not. Lego has sold very few and far between some minifigure cases. If you remember the yellow briefcase style one, with the plastic windows and everything. That's a part I love to use Lego for decoration in my home. Whether that be the ones that Lego intends for home decoration, or if, you know, next to the TV, there's a bit of a Star Wars battle going on. That's how I like to decorate, you know? We really love all of our Lego bricks here. I mean, all the ones we have on display, like all the used sets, we go through, we dust them pretty much daily with makeup brushes.
That's incredible. Now, last question for you. It's almost opening day. What's the day one purchase for you?
Ooh, day one purchase for me. Just more, I can pick one. I'm probably taking that gunship. Much of us in the LEGO Stars community are suckers for that thing.
It has been a crazy weekend. I'm very thankful for the staff at Bricks Minifigs for allowing me into the store early because the opening couple of days were absolutely insane. The line was around the block. Opening day had around 800 guests come through the store. And Nick, the owner of Bricks Minifigs Cockeysville, tells me that the opening weekend just may have been the highest number of sales for any Bricks Minifigs opening ever. That's crazy, and I'm very thankful to be a part of that. As for what I bought, well, I got this Animal Crossing set for a future video. I picked up some August 2025 Marvel figures, Thor and Rocket Raccoon from the Endgame Final Battle set. I picked up this IKEA Big Lek, which is a collaboration between LEGO and IKEA from a while back that was only available in IKEA stores. Very glad I finally found a copy of that for my room. I also grabbed this 12-figure display case from Tricked Out Bricks, which I hope to use on top of my piano for some very rare pieces. And of course, the oldest kid got a couple of figures, one that she built herself from various parts, and one that I picked out from these very cool plastic balls. But truly, one of the most important things I got over the weekend was the ability to make friends with some very kind, knowledgeable, and passionate LEGO lovers at Bricks Minifigs. I made great friends with the staff there, and I could easily see myself going to the store not just to buy figures, but talk to Aaron and Nick about custom figures or collectibles or history or anything upcoming with LEGO. That was the best part about this weekend, connecting with other LEGO lovers. Big thanks to Bricks Minifigs Cockeysville for allowing me into the store early, and another big thank you to all my channel members for supporting me, including new member, Sinal Thomas GG. And as always, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.